働き方で最も課題となっているものっていうのは何だというふうに思いますか？
For knowledge workers in America is the fact that their day is full of chaos.
3年後に知的労働者の1日っていうのはどういうふうになると思いますか？
What is the highest value work they can get done? That summary and that analysis should be put together by AI.
今後の世界の中で AI が進んでも人間の方が強いだと、そういった仕事の領域っていうのはあると思いますか？ネクストモのさとみです。今日はサンフランシスコに来て、Asanaの開発責任者のアーナムさんにお話を伺いたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you. では最初に1個目の質問なんですけれども、簡単に自己紹介と、あとはそのサンフランシスコで一番アーナムさんが好きな飲み物を教えていただいてもいいですか
？My name is Arnab. I'm the head of product for Asana. I've been here at Asana since September of 2025, and I'm super excited to see where we can take the product with our upcoming launches for Asana AI Teammates and further investment in AI features like Asana AI Studio. I've lived in San Francisco for over a decade now, and today my favorite drink is a matcha tea that you can get from Shoji, which is on New Montgomery Street.
Thank you. じゃあ2番目のお話をお聞きしたいんですけれども、アメリカの働き方で、最も課題となっているものっていうのは何だというふうに思いますか？
I think the biggest challenge for knowledge workers in America is the fact that their day is full of chaos. What I mean by that is modern productivity tools, whether you look at email, text messages, instant messages from work chat, or notifications from products that are focused on CRM or internal IT tooling, all of these are contributing to more and more updates that the knowledge worker has to react to, and they are not able to stay focused on completing their higher level objectives and stay in what we call a mode of flow. They're not able to stay on task. They're having to switch between these multiple notifications and distractions that are coming their way. So while the connectivity, while the amount of information, the amount of data, all of those things have skyrocketed. They've grown probably 100x in the last 10 years. The ability for a person to actually focus and get important results completed has dropped massively. So I firmly believe that we need to take knowledge workers in America from chaos to clarity.
その課題っていうのはアメリカだけじゃなくって日本を含めた世界共通の課題だと思いますか？
What I've seen in terms of our Asana customers in Japan and the feedback they give us, I think this message of going from chaos to clarity, of being able to focus on their work, to take the busy work out of work has landed very well. So that data makes me believe that this is also happening in Japan. And it's not a unique problem that only knowledge workers in America face.
この世界、ある意味世界共通な課題というのはなんでこう解消されないのか、犯人は誰だというふうに思いますか？
I think there's maybe three levels of issues here. There's just a phenomenal increase in the amount of information and data that is available. So the challenge was probably always there. It has just gotten more complicated. Because now you have sensors on everything. From a supply chain perspective, you can track exactly where your delivery is at. You have telemetry data from your public website, so you can track exactly how your campaign is going. So the amount of data and information has improved. That is actually a good thing, but it creates more chaos that you have to wade through and figure out clarity and the real nuggets of insight from. So that's one challenge. The second challenge is a plethora of tools have appeared which help you make sense of individual parts of that challenge. So CRM products, for example, have gotten tremendously better over the years, but they're only focused on specific outcomes for your revenue teams around selling opportunities or possibly servicing customers. So I think there's like two different things at play over here. One is the tremendous increase in signal information data, which is a good thing, but it's only good if you can harness it. And the second thing is highly specialized products for specific outcomes, which may not map to what a knowledge worker has to do in order to actually get their end-to-end process completed. So a campaign marketing manager, for example, is probably not only sitting inside their marketing automation tool. They have to also take a look at contractor quotes that are coming in, or they have to take a look at copy that's coming in Google Documents or Word documents, or they have to look at assets that are coming in as images. And they have to also coordinate across the marketing team. So that requires you to step across multiple tools and figure out across all of the data and updates and input, how do you make sense of that particular problem? So I think it's a two-step issue. One is a phenomenal increase in the amount of signal and data and activity, and the second is having to switch between multiple products.
4つ目の質問に移りたいんですけれども、3年後に知的労働者の1日っていうのはどういうふうになると思いますか？例えば朝一にまず何をやるような世界観になっていると思いますか？
So our vision is that the knowledge worker would not have to come in the morning and then look across multiple tools, their calendar, their email inbox, their My Tasks inside Asana, or something else like it might be a report or dashboard inside their CRM to figure out where they should start their day. They should start their day by being proactively told what is the highest value work they can get done, and that summary and that analysis should be put together by AI. So our vision is that as you're coming into work, whether you're coming in via the Tokyo Metro or you're taking a Waymo here in San Francisco, you can just talk to your AI, and that AI will be able to reach into your work graph, your productivity data, your calendar information, and tell you, hey, in order to get prepared for your day, you have these activities coming up, and here is the specific preparation you need to do, and here is how you can make the most of your day. So things like, Arnab, you're coming in, you have an interview with Next Mode, the questions have been shared beforehand, looks like you've reviewed them. Here are some suggested responses based on previous press releases or public speaking engagements you've had. Let me summarize that for you so you have like an 80 to 90% good starting point from which you can then make it great after that with human taste and human judgment. So that I think is going to be the big shift, where it goes from there is technology and there's information out there, and you as a human being have to orchestrate across all of it, to the AI will tell you what your next best action is.
そのようにAI を使った世界になっていくと、その成果の定義みたいなものっていうのは変わってくるというふうに思いますか？例えばそのアウトプットよりも何か意思決定の質が評価される世界になるみたいなものになってくるというふうには思いますかね？
I think 100%, because in the future, if common repetitive tasks that are toil for humans gets taken care of by AI, then human beings can free up time to think about more strategic outcomes. And the quality of decision making, the taste of decision making, that's what's going to separate out ultimately a highly performing organization from an organization that is not performing as well. So I think the way in which people will be judged and how performance will be measured will change from output to outcomes. I think outcome orientation is what we'll have to look forward to, and that's a great thing for us, right? Instead of how many outbound calls we're able to get done in a day, or how many support tickets we're able to get closed in a day, I think the real answer should be like how much did customer satisfaction increase, and how were you able to affect that, or what was the quality of your leads or the quality of the pipeline that you've built, and how were you able to affect that versus the sheer number of volume of calls.
逆に今後の世界の中で AI が進んでもこれだけは人間の方が強いだとか、あるいは対面の方が強いだとか、何かそういった仕事の領域っていうのはあると思いますか？
I think 100%. In fact, my hope is that with AI supporting human beings in getting work done, the amount of quality time we can spend with each other to align on the strategic outcomes and strategic issues should increase. Right? If you're spending less time doing rote work, like going through your email inbox and clearing out notes, or responding to people, or going back and forth trying to find a time to schedule a time to meet, and our AI agents can help us align our calendars much faster and get to alignment, then the ability for us to have those in-person meetings, the ability for us to clear our calendar to go ahead and have that high bandwidth conversation should increase. Because ultimately, like the major decisions that are life-changing will not get made by AI. Those will still have to be human in the loop, human in the middle. And humans will be empowered with better recommendations, better insights, better analytics, better next best actions, and theoretically a lot more time. And with that time, you can have that in-person, face-to-face interactions to get that alignment.
ありがとうございます。次の質問なんですけれども、仮にですね、ではこの3年後の世界、小学生にですね、未来の仕事ってどんな形っていうふうに聞かれたら、どういうふうに答えられますか？少し難しい質問なんですけれども。
If I'm speaking to a 10-year-old 3 years from now, I would say work, at least for me, because I'm in product management, is figuring out how other people should work 5 to 10 years from now. And honestly, that is the same answer we'll have today because, being the head of product for a company like Asana that is defining the future of work, we're always trying to see how should we empower people to do the best work of their careers and what's holding them back. And I think that fundamental sort of motivation, drive, effort will not change in 3 years' time. It'll just become harder for us to come up with newer ways to innovate. But I think the fundamental question will still be, okay, can I make the future of work even better, help people stay in flow, help people stay on task, help people have the best possible outcomes as much as possible.
最後に一つお聞きしたいんですけれども、日本はまだアメリカと比べるとクラウドだとか SaaS の導入が会社の中で遅れてるんですけれども、3年後に向けてですね、この今日からできること、何か日本のビジネスパーソンへのメッセージというものがあればですね、お願いしたいというふうに思います。
I would say a growth mindset where you're curious about how these new kinds of technologies can help you and you're tinkering with them is going to help you out tremendously in the next 3 years. The fact of the matter is the AI tools you're seeing today are a lot like the e-commerce and early websites of the mid-1990s. It's the first wave. The technology like HTML and ability to go ahead and connect to the internet with high speeds has just become available. Like imagine you're back in 1995 and Hotmail is new to you. So the people who tinkered with those tools, who claimed an online email address account, who played around with sites like GeoCities to build out their sites, those are the people who then figured out what should the right monetization structure, the right electronic businesses should be for the next 5 to 10 years. I feel like we're in a similar Cambrian explosion of options, tools, products right now. And so the people who are the most curious and who try those out and get a sense for where does the true value lie, where does the friction points lie, they're the ones who'll be most adept at using the tools that become standards in 3 years' time.
ありがとうございます。本日お話をもっとお聞きしたかったんですけれども、次の回でですね、ぜひAsanaの新しいプロダクトについてまたお話をお聞きしたいと思います。本日どうもありがとうございました。